Hello friends, welcome to Simple Brains. Today we are going to talk about how HTTPS works. So basically HTTPS is HTTP plus SSL, that is what we say it. But going beyond, it is all the work of geeks because no one will put his head into this much complex topic if he is not a geek. So welcome all geeks. Let's understand how HTTPS session works. So we all know, but let's revise that when we send a request, and that request is HTTP, that goes through a TCP layer and then IP layer, and after that after some changes it flows into the wire. So anyone can actually come to the wire, connect to the wire and take out the data. So we need to encrypt the data, and this encryption is called HTTPS or mutual SSL or single way SSL. We will talk about all these topics one by one, but in this session I am just and only going to talk about the terminologies. In later sessions I'll make videos where I will teach how to create certificate and different process, but yes, here we will cover all the theoretical concepts. So if we hit HTTP in our session, what actually happens is it goes to port 80, and if we hit HTTPS it goes to 443 port. Now talking about the certificates, when you hit HTTPS you see certificate there. So what this certificate is, basically talking, if we start with encoding, friends, you are going to have so many terminologies here. I am trying to segregate each of them so that when we listen them we do not get afraid about it, because they are actually, we can categorize it very well. So just give your patience, take your patience for some time and listen. Encoding, we can have DER encoding and we have PEM encoding, basically these two encodings. Now what happens is, in DER encoding we have binary format encoding, and in PEM encoding we have ASCII format encoding. What is this? In DER encoding, this simply means if you create a certificate with DER encoding and right click and try to open it with Notepad, it will give you binary output. You will not be able to read it. But if it is a PEM encoding, you right click, it will give you a ASCII format. So right click and Notepad, ASCII format, you can read it. It is human readable. So it's advisable that while starting, go for PEM encoding. Now friends, there are different vendors who supply certificates and they provide different type of extension for the certificate they provide. So suppose we have a certificate and it has extension .cert, or if it has the extension .cer, all are same. If you right click you can see the certificate. There are of course few changes, but these are all ASCII certificates. We can see what is inside it. .der format is also there, so this is actually a binary format, and then there are other formats as well. These are all proprietary to many companies that they make it, but more or less they all are same, and more or less we can convert each of them into one another. Now talking about package. So package is basically a bag where we can keep more than one certificate. plus more than one private key. Private key I have not talked right now, I'll come to it later on. So let's see what. So also even here in bag, for different companies we have different formats, like we have PEM format, we have PFX format, we have P12 format, we have PKCS 12 format. So we have so many formats here as well for bags. Again, these all are proprietary, but yes, this we cannot see, not human readable. If we right click, it will not be human readable. Now coming next to process of certificate generation. Process of certificate generation. Now as you all know that what is certificate, all certificate types, bags. So now what we have to do is create a certificate, generate a certificate. So for generation there are so many tools available. In Java we have key tool. In even universal industry recognized is OpenSSL. They provide set of commands that we have to run, and we can generate our own certificates. So let's see how to generate a certificate through these. I'm not going into today into the commands, but yes, definitely in the next video we will see the commands for it. Today let's see how it works. First what we do is generate a private key. What a private key is? Private key, my friend, is we generate a key, like you have a lock and a key at home. So you have a key that is unique to you. You keep it with yourself. So when we generate a private key, we keep it with myself. I will keep it with myself. I will not give it to anyone else. I will distribute only public certificates, but private key will always remain with me. And always remember, we have to keep it. If we lose it, then at later point of time we may face some difficulty in we may need it again for some generation, and we may face some difficulty, so we need to keep it. Now CSR, we generate a certificate creation request. CSR is a request, and request to CA authority. Now what a CA authority is? CA authority is the authority which actually generates a certificate. You get a certificate in school, right, or in college. So you actually that is having a stamp of college, school. That's why it is valid. Similarly, this certificate is authorized by CA authority. So what happens is your certificate comes under CA authority certificate. And now if when your certificate goes, it says okay, this certificate is received, go to CA authority and validate. So it can be validated every time, and if there is any discrepancy, the SSL will block the connection. So once CSR is generated, now CA authority provide us with a certificate. This can again be in .crt format, .cer format, .cert format, in whatever format they give us. So they actually, this process is called signing. They sign the certificate. So what happened? We generated a private key, we generated a CSR, and they gave us the certificate. If you are generating by yourself, you can try it for learning purpose. You can try certificate generation on cacerts.org. We will cover this in our next video, that how to use cacerts.org to create our own self-signed certificate. That is only for educational purpose. Don't use it for industrial use, because that can easily be broken. But yes, for education purpose it is very good. Now next thing is client server communication. Here when we talk about mutual SSL, SSL, or these terminologies, we actually talk about client server architecture, because client is at some remote location, server is at some other location, and we are actually communicating in between. The distance is so much that data can be included, can be compromised, so we need to put the encryption in between in the form of some encoding, maybe MD5 or something, which we will learn what it is and how it works. So we will also talk about this client server architecture in our later mode, and we will learn how to protect it. We will see a code as well after we will generate the certificate. So this session was mostly for the theory part. Let's revise. We started with HTTPS and said it is HTTP plus SSL. If it is a HTTP connection, it goes to port 80. If HTTPS, goes to 443 port. Now certificate encoding, we saw encoding, DER encoding, PEM encoding. PEM encoding is for ASCII, DER encoding is for bin. Next we came to know that different vendors give different certificate extensions like CERT, CER, CRT, DER, P7B, P7C. These are all different certificate types, but yes, they are all certificates. A simple certificate usually converted into one another. Package, that is a bag, and that consists of so many certificates and so many private keys. So here also we have one concept of key store and trust store. This also we will cover later on in our next video. So and then we saw process of certificate generation. Private key, it goes to CSR, then CE authority signs, and we get a certificate. There are a few tools which we named, key tool and OpenSSL. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to this Simple Brains so that we can get connected and share more videos. Thank you.